Well, a very good evening from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you for choosing Y254. This is Power Talk. It's the best place to be each and every Thursday evening. My name is Aguko. It's a pleasure being with you today, and we appreciate your feedback. Remember, we are coming to you live from the broadcasting house here in Nairobi, Kenya. So from wherever you're watching us from, both in Kenya and beyond, remember that you can feel free to engage with us. The hashtag, as always, is a Power Talk Show. My handle is at Aguko, and the official station handle is at Y254 channel. We value your feedback. Let us know what you think about this particular discussion that we're about to have this fine Thursday evening. And also, feel free to let us know where you are watching us from. Thank you for choosing Y254, your number one news station. Now tonight, it's all about matters concerning sickle cell anemia. That's right. This is a conversation that concerns the story of one man called Bon Sevic. He is a sickle cell ambassador here to tell us his story, the story of his life on sickle cell. Karibu sana Bon. How are you feeling, my brother?
I'm good.
You're well?
Asante sana, I'm good.
And I want us to just go straight to it. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And you are bold. You know, you've been telling people your story, you know, to inspire people, being an ambassador of sickle cell.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Watch it on from the beginning. We go straight to the point and you kill it. How did it all start? Tell us about your story from the beginning.
Yeah, so Bon Sevic was born in the 9th of January, the year 2002. And after 9 months after I was born is when my parents discovered that I had sickle cell disease.
9 months after you were born?
Yes, 9 months after I was born. They told me some of the symptoms were like mwili kuvura, joint pain, and turning yellowish. I know nowadays called jaundice. Yeah, so that's these are some of the signs that I had, and when I got tested, they said I had sickle cell disease.
So your time ulikuwa bado I believe you are at home.
Yes.
And this is not something that you are aware of
Yeah.
at that particular age.
Yes.
This is something you are told about how things were.
Yes.
Right. So based on your knowledge, so where were you at this particular time, and how was the situation at home as they are realizing that it's actually sickle cell?
At that time, when they were realizing it's sickle cell, it was during that time that my younger brother was also born. So
you were born same year?
No, not the same year. Actually, no. It's there's a point ukumbeleni that I got sick, and my brother was just born. It was in 2004.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 2004, my mom explained to me like what it was like, because he had just born my younger brother, and I was also sick. Yeah,
okay.
So it was difficult to look after the newborn, and also
and you at the same time.
yeah, and me at the same time.
So that's when she started telling you about how things used to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's that part that I felt touching to me. Yeah, and that's why that's ndio nafikiria kwanza.
So ulikuwa home your time in terms of now 9 months down the line is when they realized.
Yes.
Now let's get that story of how they realized it, and I hope they are watching tonight this conversation, because
I think they are watching.
They are watching. Huh?
Yes.
Because it's very interesting to know how the story is from the perspective of the child. And next time we'll bring in the parents to come and join in this conversation here.
True.
So how did they realize it? Was it an immediate thing that this is actually sickle cell? Were they aware of these signs and symptoms? By the time they took you to the doctor, you are 9 months old, you know, they must have gone through so many medications. I don't know. How was it?
Yeah. So before this getting discovered, they told me that I was getting sick like, so many times, and they were taking me to different hospital to understand what's wrong with me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I suspected that. Huh?
yeah. So when they started taking me to the hospital, it's just after 9 months that they got it was discovered at Kenyatta National Hospital, but before that they hadn't knew about it before. They walidhani too it's a normal like pains in the body, but they didn't know it's sickle cell disease.
Madaktari walikuwa wanasema ni ugonjwa gani before I realized ni sickle cell?
There's a time I think they said hepatitis. I don't know if it's B. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's later than that they discovered it was sickle cell disease.
Na walianza kukupatia madawa ya hepatitis?
No, they were not sure.
Okay.
Yes.
They were not sure. All right. So now they realized that you had sickle cell. Treatment started.
Yes.
How did things go after that?
After realizing this, I was immediately put on medications like folic acid, Pen V, and yeah, at that time I started with those 2 drugs. I used to take Pen V and folic acid.
No, umezishika di majina.
Yes.
Inabidi. Nilifanya ukaanza kushika hizo majina. Mimi the only drugs I know ni Panadol. Nani unajua majina hizo madawa? Panadol na Cetirizine. What else? So you had to cram the names. What would you cram even the name of these drugs?
Because sometimes nakuwa mgonjwa and you go to different hospitals, then you get asked, unaulizwa which medications do you take. So if kama ujui, they will not know where to start from. Yes, so if you know, it will be better and it will be easier to be treated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you've grown. You're growing up as a child. Tell me about how your childhood was. Growing up from a tender age, and now you're coming to understand later that you have sickle cell. I don't know if you had struggles, you know, growing up, and at some point maybe you don't know that you have sickle cell, maybe you don't know about a particular disease. How was it growing up from that tender age?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know where to start from. So growing up, me before I didn't know what sickle cell was. Yeah, I was like nikienda kucheza na watu na choka haraka. I noticed I get tired faster than all other people. And sasa ilianza kuniwari time maybe we are playing football with other children. Then you get tired, and others in the next game they said I don't want you to be on my team because you won't help us ama utachoka haraka.
Ulikuwa unachoka haraka. Sasa
yes.
Unahema.
Yes, ukichoka alafu unaanza kuhema.
Jasho pia ndo hiyo.
Sasa most of the time sasa walikuwa nobody wanted me to be on their team because I'll make them lose.
Hiyo inajua inabo sana.
Yeah, so hiyo ni moja. And then again it was in primary school ndio niligo through the toughest things because uko sijui niseme they are not mature enough ama they don't understand what sickle cell is.
Nani hao walimu ama
fellow students, fellow pupils. Yeah, because ile time maybe for example my parents explained to the teacher the kind of situation I am in, and they understand, so was exempted from work, from heavy duties. So anytime maybe something will happen, they will complain and say why mbona mimi sifanyi hizo kazi, and they are the ones doing it. Sometimes they will joke around and say nisiwachokoze, wakinipiga I'll die or I'll faint, things like that. Yeah.
It must have lowered your self-esteem at some point.
Yes.
I'm looking at even the psychological feeling you would get, you know, feeling that you don't belong. Did you have those moments where you feel like haufai ku interact na hao students wenzako?
Yes. Because even during break time, I will just stay in class. Maybe sometimes I want to go on break. I'll just stay in class, do my own things. Yeah, that's what I will do. Then go outside and play with. Actually, I wouldn't play with them because nobody wanted to play with me because they said I was not strong enough.
Regardless of the game. What about indoor games? Did you have... okay. Hakunanga indoor games kama mpaka primary. Games are not there in primary. Unless Zico squeeze, but Zico. So most of the games were football that you would indulge in.
Yes.
Volleyball, basketball wasn't there.
I was interested more in football.
Football.
Yes.
So now you're in class. You don't want to play with other children. Did teachers show any concern? Were they worried, or parents, or were your parents getting worried at that stage that you are not interacting with other kids?
At that time, sikuwa nawaambia about this, that I'm not interacting with these people in school, but I used to ask them, mbona when I play nachoka haraka,
Unauliza wazazi sasa.
yes, ama sometimes someone will tell me that my eyes are yellow, things like that. I go ask my mom why are my eyes different from other people, and it got to a point that she explained to me, and growing up, nearly understand myself.
So after how long did she explain? I know it must have been difficult also from your mother's side when you ask those questions. Kuna time anazalenga. Si kama kuna time alikuwa analenga hiyo story.
Siwezi kumbuka vizuri, but nakumbuka aliniambia, aliniambia I have a condition called sickle cell disease, but at that time sikujua what it means. Kamuliza ani explainie, and he told me there are some things that are not right in my blood, and that's why sometimes blood inapotea and I need to get frequent admissions, and also why nachoka haraka, and the turning of the eyes.
Turning of the eyes.
Yes.
So did your parents have interactions with teachers? I know you mentioned that they tried to explain it, but how was the interaction after the first day where they told your teachers about it? Was there any constant reminder? Were there many meetings and that were held after that day concerning you and how you relate with other kids?
Actually, all my class teachers understood it, and
okay.
yeah, that's when nilisema they exempted me from different activities. Yeah, walielewa vizuri, and there is no time that I had an issue with the teachers concerning that. Yes.
I know you must have been the most disciplined student.
Yeah.
Your time.
Yes.
So you managed to get those acceptance from teachers.
Yes.
And of course, even as you proceed with this conversation tonight, I know also to parents outside there watching, you may be wondering what's going on with your child. This story could maybe expand your mind, open your mind to understand some of these things concerning sickle cell anemia in particular. Because yes, you've had the interviews concerning doctors coming to you telling me, oh, symptoms ni prevention ni but real life story is right here on Power Talk. So keep on taking notes. Let us know where you're watching us from as we continue this conversation. Okay? So back to you, Bon.
Yes.
So you're now in primary and you're struggling to fit in. Did you make any friends at some point? I know not everybody likes football.
Yes, I had a few friends. There I had, like, I can say two. There was one I used to go home with every time, and maybe I've talked so much stories while going home, or sometimes going even to school. Yeah. Those are the ones that wale wenye waliniunderstand walikuwa wachache.
Na uliwaambia kwamba uko na sickle cell?
Sikuambia niko na sickle cell, because sijui somehow they discovered it themselves. Yes.
Are you friends still today? How at some point life happens?
Ako.
So you're still in school, I believe so?
No. Right now I'm not in school. I finished high school in 2021, the year 2021.
2021?
Yes.
You managed to finish high school?
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're looking into maybe university or college or something?
I'm still doing a few things out here, but when the right time comes, I will.
You're praying for the best. You've managed to come this far. And I know at some point parents would get concerned. Atamaliza shule vizuri. Atamaliza shule kweli. And that is still primary. Did you ever get that feeling?
Yes. So many times.
So many times. Na wanakwambia?
Uh,
Sana mapero.
Sana sana my mom will tell me that sometimes sometimes I would wake up feeling unwell, and he will tell me that if you're not feeling well, you can just stay home today and rest, and we'll go back to school when you feel well. And also my teachers understood this. Yeah.
Now, even as you look into the teachers, your fellow students, what about academics? Reading in primary, because you read a lot, you write a lot, you shout a lot. How was it trying to catch up with your books?
Reading and maybe I wouldn't singeweza sana kusoma and ni understand vizuri because sometimes the teacher will teach a subject and maybe I'll fall sick on that day and I'll miss maybe something that was taught on that day. So I will just try and understand what I can understand and do what maybe I can do to work hard in my academics. But mostly sometimes I will miss school, and at somehow it affected my studies. Yeah, and even the time that KCP results were being announced, they were announced when I was in an hospital bed.
And I'm looking at how your performance was at this particular point here. You're saying KCPU results even as they were announced. For yours, it was?
I was in the hospital bed.
In the hostel bed?
Yes.
You are admitted?
Yes.
I'm looking at you trying to revise for your KCPE. You trying to revise for even your mock exams. Because there's that class 8 mock.
Yes.
I'm looking at you trying to move from class 1, class 2, to all the way through to class 8. Were there moments where you had to repeat an exam? Were there moments where you had to repeat a class?
There was no any moment that I had to repeat a class, but for exams, I repeated exams. I did exams after people had done exams, because sometimes I'll fall sick and miss one exam, or even miss like 4 or 5, and then I'll come and do them after people have done.
All right.
Yes.
Still, teachers were supportive of you?
Yes.
You had good teachers. You had
Yeah.
good teachers.
True.
Still supportive?
Yes.
Now, you've missed exams, you come back to school, you still continue with the examinations.
Yes.
And it still works out well.
Yeah.
How was it trying to cope with the KCPE? Because results were released as you were in hospital. How was it trying to cope? Was it even something that you were looking forward to, those results?
No, I wasn't looking. I didn't know they were being released on that day. So when my parents came to see me, they told me that the results are actually being released today. And so I told them my index number, and they sent the code and got the results back.
Why, did you expect the results you got? Were you expecting to pass or to fail?
I was expecting to pass, and when I saw the results, I was kind of shocked, and I even cried. I didn't feel like I deserved those marks.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You thought maybe to get something less, considering the challenges you faced while in school.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you go to high school.
Yes.
Let me get your story. Transitioning from primary to high school, I know there's that aspect of adapting now. New environment.
True.
You have to make new friends.
Yes.
Parents have to do the same thing again of trying to let your teachers know that this is our child and you need to take care of him.
True.
Right? Did you go to boarding or day school? First things first.
I went to a day school.
Day school.
Yes.
Boarding na ingekuwa stress.
Yeah.
Sio? So how was it transitioning to now high school? Okay, yeah, shule now, trying to adapt sasa shule.
So nikiingia high school, the school that I joined, sikuwa nini sana. Sikuwa like now ile uoga sana. Because kwanza my mom is the one who encouraged me and told me, this school that you're joining, you are all Form 1s. No one has been there before you. you are all joining at the same time. So sikuwa nasikia vibaya ama sikuwa nasikia kama niko na uoga. Nilikuwa tu na ile courage ya kuingia high school, because also sikuwa nataka ile primary life that I passed through. I wanted to test something that is different and
at least because this time around you umeshakuwa mature, unaelewa kitu tunataka.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nione venye I'll cope up in high school. So nilikuwa na hiyo amu ya kujoin high school vibaya sana.
I love that. And you managed to join?
Yes.
Which school? High school?
I did secondary in 3 different schools.
3 different schools?
Yes.
Aha, interesting. Because of still mambo ya school fees, mambo ya finances, mambo ya masomo. I'm looking at that struggle, Bon.
The first school I joined, ilikuwa na some management issue, and at a point ilikuwa closed, so we had to move to a different school, and the school that I moved to was suggested by the school I was from.
Oh, so it wasn't about now sickle cell affecting your academics.
Yes.
It was entirely something else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when I joined the second school that I went to. I joined when I was in Form 2. Form 1 different school, Form 2 in a different school, and then Form 3 and 4 in a different school.
Okay. So sickle cell did not make you transition from one school to another?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
the third school, I just transitioned to that school because I wanted to be part of that school. I wanted to study in that school.
Oh,
yes.
You chose to be somewhere else?
Yes.
And still, parents have to go to the same thing, letting your teachers know about how you are.
Yeah.
Wow, your parents are strong people. They're very strong, your guardians. Yes. And it's an inspiration to see how, they've managed to go through with you through this whole process. Let's talk about finances. Taking care of all these things must have been difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. What picture did you get from your end concerning matters concerning money?
Actually, my parents spend a lot of money on me through medication, hospital insurance, so many things, because sometimes you get sick, you need to go to the hospital, but you can't get treated if maybe you have not paid for your insurance cover, or for some tests that are being paid for cash, you can't get the test done because you don't have enough of money to pay. And even if you get them done, you will pay a lot of money. And I still have siblings who one was in high school and one is still in high school right now. So I used to feel bad when I see like almost all the finances are being spent on me. Yeah, so that's what made me sad, because I still even think about that, because we are still buying the medications. Yeah, I just hope one day maybe the government will come up and provide free medication to us.
Wow. And we will come to that part after we've taken a short break.
Okay.
We will now transition, because now we are coming to a close of how your story is, and then move to other areas that we can touch on tonight. I love the fact you're saying that you're saying, you know what, there are still some things that we can do in terms of from the side of government.
Yes.
Now, from your end, financially, you had to, feel the impact that all these things were having on your parents, and it would make you feel like, you know what, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. How was it now for you? Did you have to, try to, talk with your siblings to let them know that, you know what, these are the things we are doing? Was there a compromise from one party or from one end, trying to say, tulipe hii kwanza, okay, I'll have to fanya hii baadaye? Did you have such conversations?
No, I have a very supportive family. From my siblings to my parents, they are very supportive and also understanding. Yeah. So it's sometimes too, it's me that I feel like I should just stay and nisiwambie that I'm not feeling well, because sometimes I get to try to hide, because I don't want them to maybe spend on me yet, I don't want them to feel bad, because anytime that I'll get sick, I'll see them feel bad, and it will make me get more worried. So sometimes I'll avoid telling them that I'm sick, or I'm feeling like this or like this.
Was there that time that you would fall sick and you wouldn't say it until it's, you know, it's too late?
Yeah, it has happened once.
It has happened.
Yes.
Tell me about that time. What happened?
Sometimes when damu ya mwili kisharudi chini, I start feeling it, because when I walk even a short distance, naanza kuhema haraka, ama na feel difficult in breathing. So there was this time that nilianza kufeel hivyo, but I didn't say, nilikuwa na avoid kusema. So when it came at the middle of the night, it was around past midnight. It was past midnight when I started having the body pains, and it was much worse than usually it has been. Ilikuwa worse kuliko siku zote zenye nimei have those pain. So it was middle of the night, and there was nowhere where we can get a good transport to take us to the hospital. So
all right. Allow me to cut you short, please. I'm told we are due for a break. Let's take that break, and then we'll be back and we'll finish up on that particular story on how it was. And then after this break,
yes,
remember, he is a sickle cell ambassador. We'll find out how he got into that particular area from where he sits, and what he's doing to champion, you know, and rally information concerning sickle cell. That is coming up after this break. This is Power Talk. Aguko, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. We are still proceeding with Don's story right here concerning sickle cell. He is a not Don, Bon. Yes. I have a cousin called Don.
Oh, okay.
Bon. He's a sickle cell ambassador joining us today right on this evening show. And of course, feel free to let us know where you're watching us from, and if you're learning something from this story, from his story on sickle cell. All right? The hashtag, as always, is a Power Talk Show. My handle on all social media platforms is at Ram Aguko. And the official station handle is at Y254 channel. Okay? And head over to our Facebook page. That's at Y254. And do me one favor. Like the page. Before you do anything, like the page. Head over to our post. And feel free to comment on the comment section below our picture. All right, let me just touch on a few things before we delve into what you do. Let's wrap it up. Now, you were telling me a story about this time when you fell sick.
Yes.
You did not want to let your parents know that you're sick. And now it's what time in the night?
Past midnight.
Past midnight.
Yes.
Pick it up from there again.
So there was no good transport that will take us to the hospital, and there was no nearby hospital that was close to us that we could run to. So
were you within Nairobi?
yes,
Okay.
in Kibera. So
Wow. Okay.
yes, so my mom had to wake up because my dad had went for a job in Meru. So my mom had to wake up, and we have a neighbor who drives motorbike. So my mom had to wake up and go knock on his door to call him, take us to an hospital. Then he came out, and we drove from Kibera to Kenyatta on motorbike, and we got to the hospital, and yeah, that's how it was.
That's how it was. How did your mom realize that you were not okay? Because I believe this was, were you still young? I don't know how old you were. How did she realize that you're actually sick? Because it's in the middle of the night. Everybody is asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was recent. It was like an year ago.
A year ago?
Yes. So I was with my younger brother, and when I have this sickle cell crisis, the pain gets too much and worse, and you can't help it. Some people would shout because the pains are always too much. You can't like ignore them. So when I had those pains, I was like crying. I was just feeling unwell, and also I couldn't breathe well. So when my brother noticed this, he went and
You went and called your mother.
called my mother.
Let's talk about that particular angle there, okay? How it is for you mentally, psychologically. How is it moving on with your daily duties, and at some point, I don't know, at some point it just comes out, all right? It just comes out, you just start feeling like things are not okay. Describe this feeling that you have when these symptoms start coming up.
So it has happened twice when I was in different events, and the first one happened when I was not with anyone close. Like I always walk with my brother, but that time he was in school. So that day I went for an event, and my mom knew I was well, and everybody knew I was well. So when I got to the event, I started feeling unwell.
At this event?
Yes.
Which is in Nairobi or outside Nairobi?
It was in Nairobi.
In Nairobi?
Yes, KICC.
KICC?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started feeling unwell. Most especially it was my legs, my joints zenye zilikuwa uchungu, and I couldn't walk. And then the pains got much worse, and I started like even to shout because I was crying for help. And
so the pain is mostly on the joints?
Yes, on the joints.
And that's where there is a lot of tension, a lot of pain. It makes you want to shout or scream.
Yes.
Okay.
So I called for help, and someone came, and I contacted my parents, and they came and picked me, and they took me because sai najua which medication that I should take when I'm feeling that kind of way.
Is it like an attack that comes, or
Yes.
something gradual?
Yeah, it's like an attack. It's just come once.
And is that common for all sickle cell anemic patients?
Yes, it's common.
Pain on the joints?
Pain on the joints.
So now growing up, because you mentioned it has happened twice. Twice. Now, all the time that you've been in school, primary, secondary, how was the experience with you when these attacks would come? Was it different now that we are not talking about the pain in the joints?
It was not that different when I was in school. It was just I think it was just the same. It was the same because most especially the part that pains most is the lower back. This part, that part is usually the worst place that gets pain. Yeah.
Wow, the lower back.
Yes.
So lower back, the joints, the knees, elbows too?
Yeah.
Elbows too?
And an headache.
And a headache.
Yes.
So regardless of your age, that's what you'd feel as long as you have sickle cell anemia?
I'm not sure, but during the time that I was in primary and till right now, I still have the same pains.
Same pains?
At the same places. Yes.
So what do you do once it comes? Do you walk with drugs on you?
Yeah, sometimes I walk with them, or sometimes when I know I'm much closer to somewhere where I can get them, I just go and get them.
So you have to be alert about your environment, unaenda wapi, unajihami mapema.
Yes.
All right? Now, because of that, do you avoid night events?
No.
Hapo ni tricky.
Hapo ni tricky kidogo, but I don't avoid. Well, I just dress well, because cold weather is also a trigger to those sickle cell crises.
Oh, the cold.
Yes.
So you must always keep warm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Now, let me get to understand this aspect here. Many people believe that once someone gets sickle cell, it's a death sentence. What do you think about that? What do you say about that? Is that something that we need to run away from? That mindset, that myth?
Now that you've mentioned that, imenikumbusha this time that I was in high school, the second school that I joined when I was in form 2. There was this time that nilikuwa mgonjwa. Then now I had this lady saying that, you know, people with this condition, they don't get past 18. I had a friend and he died just before getting to 18.
Someone is telling you that?
Once there was one person who told me, and one said it thinking that sikusikia.
Wow. That one must have been feeling it's disappointing.
Yes.
Did you respond?
No.
But look at you today. It means it's a myth.
Yeah.
It's a myth. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to come out of that belief system.
True.
Sindio?
Kweli.
Talk to Kenyans watching you today about that particular myth.
So, to any Kenyan watching me out there, be it that you have sickle cell disease or you know someone that has sickle cell disease, don't usiweke mbali na wewe, keep them close to you, advise them, tell them what to do, and also, you know, things don't tell them things that I was told, because there's some people when you feel vibaya and maybe one anaweza hata take out his or her life. So we just need to support people like us and motivate them and believe in them, because we can do different things, and I think we can do it much better than even other people who are healthy. Yes.
I love that spirit.
Thank you.
I love that spirit. Tell me, what are some of those things that you were told or that you overheard that made you say, you know what, no, that's not right? Those things that you were told or you overheard that could have, or that maybe did discourage you?
I've had so many different things. There is many. There was one time that I was on oxygen while I was in Kenyatta, and I could hear someone who had sat at those seats that are usually there saying that I don't think this boy will survive.
This is a doctor or?
No, it was, I think he also had a patient. Yeah. Yes.
Hey. Another one?
Can't recall another one except from that one that was in school.
But that is one that really sticks in.
Yes.
But the fact that you can remember it,
Yeah.
it means it really got to your heart.
True.
Right? How have you been trying to keep strong all these years? All this time that you've been growing up? You hear so many things. Some discourage you so much. Some encourage you. Some make you feel bad. Some make you feel good. How do you bring yourself up to stay strong and to, you know, and motivate yourself to keep going every single day?
I can say it's just understanding the condition that you are in and understanding how to manage it. Because now that I know what sickle cell really is, if you tell me that I won't see it 18 years, I will tell you that that's a lie. I know what sickle cell disease is, and I know what to prevent what to do to prevent the pain crisis and what to avoid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
You tell them that whatever you're saying is a lie.
Yes.
I have knowledge in my head.
Yes.
Do you have daily routines that you do to keep yourself fit and okay?
I wake up in the morning. I take a glass of water. I have breakfast. Then the usual events. If there is an interview I'm supposed to do, I arrange how to do it, and yeah, just like that.
So we can just say you have a normal life. There is nothing special that is there. Everything is normal. Someone should not feel as if it is a life-changing thing. Unaweza ishi tu maisha yako tu visawa normally.
Yeah. The different thing is that we have medication that we take on a regular basis. Like for me, I take them every night before I go to bed.
Yes. That's the only difference, huh?
Yes, that's the only difference.
Wow, that's encouraging. I hope you are encouraged from home. If you know someone who is having sickle cell, or you yourself have somebody that has sickle cell, this should encourage you. Sindio?
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at your story, Bon, and I'm really interested in finding out the relationships that you've had, how you interact with people. Has this made you change your perception of people? Has it made you choose who your friends are and who you can interact with? As you listen to people, and I know there's so many voices, Cindy,
Yeah.
so many voices. Does it affect how you relate with people?
There's some things that you need to avoid,
Mm.
and there's some things that you need to kuingia more into deeply. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So few things you need to avoid are things like alcoholic, caffeine,
Wacha
maybe
pombe bwana.
smoking.
Mm.
Yeah, vitu kama hizo cause zinaongeza, they are bringing to you more naweza sema nini, there's a possibility zinaweza kuongezea ugonjwa, and once because our immune system is not strong, maybe this can affect you in a bad way, so you have to keep away from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tunaambia watu wache pombe. Sigara hizo vitu.
Yeah.
Inakupeleka chini. Si ndio?
Yes.
So you managed to get to where you are today. Why choose to be an ambassador in regards to sickle cell? What made you select this? Because you might as well be comfortable with how you are, with the way you are,
Yes.
with the information you have.
Yes.
Why choose that path?
Just don't want people like me to feel the same way that I did while growing, especially in primary school. And I don't want them to feel discouraged. And I also want the society to know what sickle cell is, and to remove the myths and bad mentality that they have, that people with sickle cell disease can't pass the age of 18. Yeah, just things that doesn't really feel motivated to tell people what sickle cell is, and it's not a life-threatening disease.
Yes.
If managed well, and if you get to understand yourself, you can pass it and you can survive.
I love that.
Yes.
It's all about management.
Yes.
You can survive it.
Yes.
You can grow old with it.
True. Yeah.
It's not a death sentence.
Yes.
Are you spiritual? Are you spiritual?
Yes.
I don't know if you're Christian, Muslim, or whichever.
I'm a Christian.
You're Christian.
Yes.
Does Christianity play a role in keeping you motivated?
Yes.
Or does spiritualism, even for those who are not Christians, if maybe you're a Muslim or a Buddhist, whichever, does spirituality help?
Yeah, it does. Because maybe you hear the pastor preach about people getting saved, and maybe people getting ill, and you'll feel motivated. Yeah, it's motivating.
Wow. What do you do to ensure that you are because you've mentioned about motivation severally. I'm looking at the aspect of mental health. All right. How do you maintain yourself to be mentally healthy and avoid thinking a lot, getting stressed, getting worried? What about money? What about school? What about my life? How do you engage your mind? What do you do?
Sincerely, hiyo bado sijaget sana to manage that, because sometimes I sit down but I'm thinking about a lot of things maybe that bado hazija happen, but I get to think about them, and they get me stressed up.
You do get stressed many times.
Yes.
Wow. Do you have people who can help you to come out of those places where you think a lot? Do you have that circle of friends? You mostly spend time alone?
I have right now I have a few friends, but I don't know what to say. I don't like feel that sikwangi nasikia like to tell them kuambia what's going on in my mind. sometimes tunadu kenye tu imetuleta and we just sometimes make stories but I don't
avoid you.
yes I don't
Utaki wajue?
si ati sitaki wajue
Hmm.
I just don't feel like naweza waambia ati this thing is worrying me, this thing is worrying me. Yeah, niyo tu wasiwaambii what's worrying me.
All right. Do you open up to your parents now? If you don't want to open up to your friends, do you open up to your parents? Who do you open up to?
My parents and my siblings.
Siblings. Okay. You're a strong person.
Thank you.
You're a strong person, and I'm inspired by this story. From home, I know you are also inspired. It's motivating, you know. Sometimes we take so many things for granted, but then you sit and you realize. I look at you, Bon, and I'm encouraged, and I feel like, you know what? If Bon can do it,
Yeah.
so can I.
True. Yes.
So can I. Earlier on, moving on, you mentioned something about the government. What are some of those things that you've seen and you feel like, you know what, the government needs to come and help in these particular areas? Just to mention but a few.
Yes. One thing that the government should work on is the hospital insurance cover. It should be allowed to cover like all the medications and all the treatment for people living with sickle cell disease.
Okay.
And also, just as it's being done for those with TB or AIDS, we should be given free medications. Yeah, because it's expensive. Yeah.
It is very expensive. And have you ever gotten to that point where you've tried to get these drugs and there isn't enough money?
Yes.
Does NHIF really help in that particular point there?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. And I can imagine watu wangapi wameumia kwa sababu wamekosa NHIF haisaidii, pesa pia hakuna.
Kweli.
Watu wanaumia sana. Especially looking at where you're coming from in Kibra, it's not easy.
True.
When you look at yourself right now, umesema you are you're praying to move to the next level, tertiary. Ulimaza from 2021,
Yes.
right? 2022, we are now in 2023. Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years as Bon? Career-wise, academically, randomly, where do you see yourself? 5 years, 10 years?
Before I say where I like to see myself, I will feel well if the government reacts to what I'm fighting for, the sickle cell ambassador. That's one. And second, I love to be at, I love like to have a TV show. And also, I'll just love to have my own media company.
Wow. You want to get into journalism?
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Sana radio.
Sana radio.
Yes.
And you're saying you want to be an ambassador, sickle cell ambassador.
Yeah.
Do you want to some form of recognition, or what exactly unaongelelea nini hiyo exactly? Nipatie picha ni get vizuri.
Vile tu nilisema, I just want Kenyans and the whole world to understand what sickle cell disease is, and to know the myths, and to understand what is the reality.
Okay, okay. Timothy, let me get those Facebook comments there. You can bring them up. Let's know where people are watching us from. I don't know if you have them. All right, this is, yes, thank you so much. And we anasema Power Talk. What a wonderful show. Amepiga makofi akainua mikono hapo. Asante sana. Anasema sickle cell, it reminds me of secondary life. I feel proud of you. Thank you so much. How was your secondary life? Tell me. Inakukumusha nini? Mutuku Kithuku. Imepotea hiyo? Timothy, bring it up again. Thank you. Mutuku Kithuku Wanzeni. Anasema Wagwan. Someone tell me what wagwan means, please. I need to understand. Bon, wagwan namanja nini?
Sijui yake.
Ujui?
Sijui.
Kumbe tuko WhatsApp group moja. Wagwan ni salamu. Oh, thank you Cheryl. Asante. Na naona pia kuna mtu ni MC Cheryl. Ameandika hapo amesema kuamini Mungu na life inaendelea bora ufuate masharti anakuwa sawa. Asante sana. This is Mutumishi David Miendo anasema watching from Bungoma County. Hemston Mwingisi anasema Eldoret tunafollow keenly. Thank you for this topic. You're welcome my brother. This is Rash Bashir anasema watching live outer Fort Jesus Busia. Asante sana. Naona mtu amepiga picha akiwa Kakamega watching as usual. Hey, endeleni kukimbia mandugu zetu. Tukutane huko mbele. Sinta Waidera anasema today Ram this one is touching but truly Bon you are strong and a survivor. Okay, I didn't get it. What causes sickle cell and does it have a cure? God bless. Thank you so much Sinta. Bon, huyu ameuliza swali mzuri sana. What causes sickle cell? Does it have a cure? Amesema you're a strong person and a survivor. Asante sana, si ndio? Unaweza ongea kitu kuhusu huyu? Anasema kuhusu comment yake.
Sinta Waidera. Thank you for this recognition. Recognizing me as a strong survivor. And to the question that she asked of what causes sickle cell disease. From what I've heard and what I've learned doing my research, nimesikia it's an hereditary disease and it's a genetic disease.
It's a genetic disease.
Yes, it's a genetic disease. And it's called sickle cell because the shape of the cells, the red blood cells of a normal person is in an
it is sickle in shape.
It's circular. Of a normal person is circular. But for someone with sickle cell, they are sickle. Like they form like a C shape. So when it's running in the body, somehow because of the shape, it gets blocked somewhere. And ikizuia damu, and that's when you have the pains. Yeah.
Now, Bonza, does it have a cure? Because it's a genetic issue. You only is it what? Maintain yourself? Is that true?
Yeah, but as I said before, I do research, and there's one article that I read that said one can get a bone marrow transplant. Yeah, and maybe that could work. The thing is that it's expensive.
It's expensive.
And it's only done in a few countries, like South Africa and India.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any family member that has sickle cell at the same time and that you've been comparing notes with?
No.
Wow. All right. Bon.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I am proud of you, Baba.
Asante
I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Asante.
Keep empowering and inspiring other people out there. One thing that you are, strong.
Asante.
Yeah? And I love the fact that you can smile even as you talk about all these things.
Yeah.
Acha tumalize kipindi hapo.
Asante
Thank you for coming.
Asante sana.
Ungependa usalimie wazazi, si ndio?
Yeah, najua wana watch. Ningependa niwasalimie ukiwa nyumbani Kibera. Na pia
salamu.
My brother Jeff, tuko naye hapa. And a friend of mine too, anaitwa Brandy ama Marion. Yes.
Brandy ama Marion.
Yes.
Oh, ndo wale pale wamekuja kwa studio hapa hivi.
Yeah.
Ndo wale.
Yes.
Okay, asante sana. Brandy, Marion, Jeff. And big up to the parents and those who are supporting Bon. I wish you the best. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay.
Thank you.
And of course, that is what brings us to the end of this conversation tonight. It has been about his story, sickle cell, and how he has managed to grow up, struggling with it, and at the end of the day, he is a winner. If he can do it, so can you. May God bless you. May God bless the work of your hands. My name is Ram Aguko. This is Power Talk.